What is going on, everybody? This is your boy Juggernaut 097, and today I'm here to give you my AEW All Out 2024 review. It's been a while since I've done a review on my channel. I just been really behind with watching wrestling, like really behind watching wrestling. But yeah, I'm here to give you my review. Because I did watch AEW All In from London. That was a really good show. I still have yet to watch Bash in Berlin, and I still have yet to watch No Mercy. I probably won't be doing reviews of those, but I am here to review AEW All Out. So, before we get started with this review, go get your drinks, go get your popcorn, go get your food, go get whatever you need to watch this video. And I'm gonna roll that intro, and I'll be right back in a few seconds. And we're here to review All Out 2024. So see you in a few minutes.
They call me a god. 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 Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, gotta fill up.
Okay, what's going on, everybody? So, like I said, we are here to review AEW All Out 2024. So, All Out was this past Saturday, September 7th, 2024, and it was held from Chicago, Illinois, or the Hoffman Estate. It's kind of like, outside of Chicago. It's not actually in Chicago. It was at the Now Arena. Like All Out is every single year. It's always in Chicago. But yeah, this show, I gotta say, these wrestlers, no pun intended, but they really went all out for this show. Like, the whole kind of theme about this show was like trying to kill each other on this show. Especially the last couple matches, like the double main event. Like, everybody is still talking about everything that happened with the Bryan Danielson and what happened with the end of that match there. Everybody's talking about the whole swerve that happened at the end. We're not talking about Swerve Strickland. We're talking about the swerve that happened in the Bryan Danielson match. Crazy stuff there. Which we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Even the lights out match was wild. Like, there was some stuff I go like, this is sick. I go like, why are these guys doing this to each other? But yeah, that lights out match was nuts as well. It's like this whole show on a whole was really good. I enjoyed it. So let's waste some time and let's go ahead and get started with this review. So we're not going to talk about the pre-show or the 0 hour because I don't really care about that. We're just going to talk about the main card. So to kick off the show, we had MJF going up against Daniel Garcia's. Their whole feud. They kind of been going, kind of feuding. That's like kind of like 9 weeks ago when MJF, kicked him in the balls, and they MJF beat him down. And now we got this match here, which, like I say, this was a really good match. Daniel Garcia's, he really showed some really good aggression in this match. There was one point in the match where he was like trying to bite the face off of MJF. Like I said, this whole show was like surrounded about like death, or like each wrestler was trying to kill each other. It was wild. They were going all out, like I said. But both guys worked really well together. I like the different type of submissions that each guy was using. Daniel Garcia's, he even locked in a a sharpshooter locked in at one point. MJF had walls of Jericho. He even had a bow and arrow type of move on him. Of course, MJF, the heel that he is, he was being a coward throughout the match. I wasn't the biggest fan of the ending when MJF, he did the low blow, and then he did like kind of an ugly jackknife cover, or tried rolling up Daniel Garcia's for the win. But yeah, so MJF ended up winning, by a cowardly way. And then after the match, it looks like they were going to shake each other's hand. But Daniel Garcia wasn't having none of that, and he low blowed, or he kicked MJF in the balls and just beat him down. gave him a pile driver, gave MJF a pile driver. So, at the end, Daniel Garcia is, he came out on top, but I mean, MJF won the match. So, I mean, you kind of have that payoff there. I don't know if they're going to continue this feud or not, but hey, I mean, this was a good way to kick off the show. And this kind of reminds me of the MJF and Darby Allin match that they had a few years ago at Full Gear. This kind of reminds me of that. Like, it's like on the same par as that a little bit. But yeah, this was a fun match. I enjoyed it. So yeah, next match we have here is the AEW Tag Team titles are on the line. We had the Young Bucks defending titles against the Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. This was a fine match. I mean, so the Young Bucks, the EVPs here, doing the whole heel work stuff here. I don't know. There's something missing with the Young Bucks. I really don't know what it is right now. But their matches seem really repetitive. They seem the same right now. I mean, that's kind of like all these Young Buck matches. A lot of super kicks, a lot of cheating. Claudio, he was looking really good. The athleticism in this match from Claudio was amazing. There was one point like where he did jumped up to like the top rope and like did an uppercut on one of the Young Bucks. Wheeler Yuta, he was missing something here. I don't know really what it was. He wasn't that over here. There were some pretty nice counters in this match. Claudio countered like a nice EVP trigger. That was nice. Or what's there? Yeah, the EVP trigger. Or the EVP trigger, that's what it's called. I mean, the Young Bucks ended up winning the match. Made sense to have them win here. I don't really know what they're going to be doing next with the Young Bucks. I mean, this is your like typical Young Bucks match, nothing crazy. Yeah, it was a good tag team match. So we'll move on to the next match, which we had. Okay, this is definitely my match of the night right here. We had Will Ospreay going up against Pac, and this was the international title on the line. Yeah, this is definitely your like 2K match. You will make on 2K. Will Ospreay and Pac. This is your video game match right here. Boy, oh boy, they went balls to the walls here. Pac, he looked amazing here. The moves that they were doing, like the counters that they were doing, like to the Hurricane Ranas and all that. There was one point where Pac hit a nice suplex on the side of the apron, or like on the apron. That was a nice spot. He even did a poison Rana on the apron. That was pretty cool. Like I said, the counters that they were doing. Will Ospreay, he didn't need to use the Tiger Driver. He didn't have to use the Stormbreaker to win the match. Like they just went counter for counter in this match. Very high flying, very enjoyable match. Probably one of the matches of the year for me. This is like match of the year contender for me. Pac, he did a really nice counter to the Stormbreaker in this match. That was pretty cool. Like I said, the counters to these like different Ranas off the top rope, it's like breathtaking. Even Will Ospreay, even pulling out different moves, and people like AJ Styles, he hit a Styles Clash in this match. But Will Ospreay ended up winning by hitting the Hidden Blade. I mean, he hit it multiple times, but yeah, he hit the Hidden Blade to beat Pac. Fun match. Like, if you haven't seen this match, definitely go check it out. Like I said, this is a match of the night for me. So yeah, we'll move on to the next match, which we had was the Chicago Street Fight. We had Will Nightingale going up against Chris Statlander. And, I thought, it was going to be hard for them to outdo the previous match. They had a lot to overcome here, but they really did some great stuff here. Like, they really surprised me what they did here in this match. Chris Statlander, she had a really nice powerbomb on through an announce table. That was nice. Willow, she she put Chris Statlander through the barricade at one point in the match. Like she did a pounce through the barricade. Chris Statlander, she took a pretty nasty bump through table. Like Willow, she moved out of the way, but she still got hit by Chris Statlander's legs, like hit her in the back. So I was kind of seemed like a little botch there. The thumbtack spot, that was a wild spot where Chris Statlander she did like a split through some thumbtacks, and looks like it was gonna penetrate her vaginal region in the match. That was wild. Willow, she did a nice spear. Was it Willow? Yeah, Willow. She did a nice spear through off the stage into a whole bunch of tables. That was a nice spot. Even had he had a light tube spot where Willow hit Chris Statlander with a light tube. I wasn't expecting that. Stokely, he ended up getting ran away. He ended up running away from Willow. But Chris Statlander ended up winning here. Yeah, I mean, this was a fun match. You know, I'm a fan of both these girls. You know, they didn't hold anything back. You know, it was fun. I enjoyed it. So yeah, Chris Statlander ended up winning here. All right, and the next match we had was the four-way match for the Continental Championship. So we had Okada defending title against Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, and Konosuke Takeshita. Yeah, I gotta say this Okada match was definitely a step up from the match that they had at All in London in that scramble, that six-way match. I feel like Okada he kind of just got lost in that match. But yeah, this match here was definitely a step up here. I like the interactions between Mark Briscoe and Orange Cassidy. You know, they were being like they had their comedy stuff throughout the match. I thought that was pretty funny. And then you know, eventually you had Okada and Konosuke Takeshita. I always botch his name, but yeah, Takeshita. Yeah, that was awesome seeing them go at it. Takeshita, he was really over here with the Chicago crowd. Mark Briscoe, he did a nice Cactus Jack elbow in the match. That was nice. Orange Cassidy, you know, this match really fit him really well. He was doing some amazing stuff, you know, what Orange Cassidy always does. But you know, at the end, Okada, you know, he was, you know, hitting everybody with Rainmakers. He ended up pinning Orange Cassidy, hit him with the Rainmaker to get the 1-2-3. So still the Continental Champion. Okada. Like I said, this was definitely a step up from the match at All in London. But this was fun. You know, everybody got their moves in. Fun match. Yeah. All right. And then the next match we had was the TBS title on the line. We had Mercedes Moné defending the title against Hikaru Shida. And Camilla was banned from ringside. Yeah, to be honest, I don't remember a whole lot from this match. I know that Mercedes, the Chicago fans, the Chicago crowd really wasn't behind Mercedes that much. I don't know why. But I gotta say, this match was a lot better than this match was a lot better than the match that Mercedes had at All in London with Britt. This was definitely a better match here. Hikaru Shida. I don't know. I feel like there were some mishaps in this match. You know, some botches, and the fans weren't really vibing with that a whole lot. They were like kind of giving them shit. I mean, Mercedes ends up winning the match. I don't remember really how she won, to be honest. I know that she retained her title. I believe it was by making Hikaru Shida tap out. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, this was that was that other women's match. But no, yeah, this match was fine. I mean, Hikaru Shida, I seen her have better matches. I mean, this was an okay match, kind of the weakest thing on this card. It was kind of tough for them to be in this spot right here, but hey, it was what it was. It was an okay match. Yeah, the next match we had was we had the double main events here now. Which, to be honest, I feel like this match should have been on last, but I understand why they had the lights out match last. They had the unsanctioned match be the final thing that, because they have the unsanctioned in the show. I understand that. But we have Bryan Danielson defending the AEW title against Jack Perry, the scapegoat. This Chicago crowd was really behind Bryan Danielson, doing, yes and all out throughout the whole night. Jack Perry, people were, telling Jack Perry to F off, giving him the middle finger. Just really getting that heel heat through this whole match, which was really good. The strikes that they were doing with each other, they were going strike for strike at one point. Jack Perry, those chops that he was hitting on Danielson was really nice. I didn't like the interference that we had from the Young Bucks in this match. We had a ref bump at one point in this match where Bryan Danielson, he did a bicycle knee and he hit the referee. And then when that referee spot happened, like, oh, joy, here come the Young Bucks. They hit a TK driver onto Danielson. But then we had some, we had some, the BCC come out, Wheeler and Claudio run off the Young Bucks. So that was good. Danielson, he was just, he does what he normally does, does great technical wrestler. Jack Perry was working great with him. There was one point where Jack Perry even did one of Danielson's own submission move. It was it was like that butterfly hold. Oh, I can't remember what it's called now. If someone wants to go down in the comments, let me know what that submission that Jack Perry did. I know the move, but I just can't think of it right now. I can't think of it. But yeah, Bryan Danielson ends up winning by hitting the Busaiku knee. Jack Perry at the end, he puts his arms out. It was like he just takes it. He finally gives up. Yeah, but Bryan Danielson ended up winning here. And then after the match, we had Killswitch come out. Like, well, we got Killswitch and Jack Perry, because they were tag team partners at one point. So we had Killswitch come out. Then Christian Cage came out because he ended up winning that gauntlet match at All in London. So it looks like Christian Cage was going to cash in his opportunity, on a vulnerable Bryan Danielson. So, we had Christian Cage and the rest of the patriarchy coming down to the ring. But then who do you see by ringside? You see Jon Moxley. The return of Jon Moxley. We haven't seen him for a while. He returns at this show. And then the rest of the BCC come out. Wheeler Yuta. Claudio and Pac as well. So we see them come out, to like, nah, you ain't catching the opportunity. So it looks like they're helping out Bryan Danielson. But then the swerve happens, okay? Bryan Danielson, he's celebrating. And then Claudio hits an uppercut onto Danielson. I'm like, what? Like, this threw me, like, this was really surprising here. And then Moxley, he gets a bag out and starts, like, puts the bag over Danielson. Like, this starts choking him out. And the crowd even started chanting, "This is murder." Like, they start chanting, "This is murder." Like, this was something else. I'd rather seen this go on last, to end the show off, like, with Danielson, the camera's cut off, with him, laying out, with the bag over his face. That would have been a great way to end the show. That would have been amazing. But of course, we had that whole lights out match. But and then Wheeler Yuta, he was there, like, he was so shocked what happened. He was trying to help. Pac was holding off. Yeah, Pac was holding off Wheeler Yuta. And then we have Marina Shafir come out. I don't know what her deal is with this. Like, is she part of the BCC now? The new BCC. So yeah, it looks like Danielson's out of the BCC. They turn their back on them. They're probably jealous because he's the world champion. So it's definitely gonna be interesting to see what happens on Dynamite, and then kind of going into the Wrestle Dream, because Wrestle Dream is in October. So it's interesting to see who's going to be challenging Danielson. But I have a feeling Danielson, he's probably going to be losing the world title maybe around AEW World's End, maybe. So I think that's like when he's finally going to hang it up. Because he says next time when he loses the world title, he's hanging it up for good. And he's calling it quits for his career, which I don't blame him. He's had he's had neck problems and supposed to be getting surgery sometime, probably in the next year. So yeah, I bet he loses it like around AEW World's End in December. But I knew he wasn't going to be losing to Jack Perry here. But it was an awesome match. But like I said, that swerve there, that was wild. I was not expecting that at all. And like I said, I felt like this should have went on last. But of course, we had the unsanctioned match, which that's what we're going to talk about next. Excuse me. We had the lights out unsanctioned match there in the steel cage. Hangman Adam Page going up against Swerve Strickland. Boy, oh boy, this was a wild match. Before the cage was even come, and when the cage was getting lowered down, Hangman and Swerve they just went at it. Start trying to beat each other up. There was one point where but their heads were hanging off the apron, and the cage was still coming down. Like they were trying to decapitate each other. They were trying to take each other's heads off. But Prince Nana, he pushed them both back into the ring, so that was smart for Prince Nana to do that. Also, Prince Nana, he was throwing in a whole bunch of weapons into the ring, threw it put a table in the ring. There was this big yellow box or black box that they had in the ring full of weapons. Yeah, this match was brutal. This match was wild. I mean, they emptied the tanks out in this match. They emptied the tanks here. And I really don't know what they could do going forward. I feel like this was the end of this chapter here in this rivalry with Hangman and Swerve. Because this rivalry goes all the way back to starting last year at Wrestle Dream, which is wild to think about. But we had Swerve, no, not Swerve. Hangman, he brought a staple gun, staple in the back and chest of Swerve. There was one point where he was pulling out the staples in the match, and that was wild. That was wild in the match. Swerve, he hit a nice Swerve stomp through a table. That was pretty cool in the match. Even had a barbed wire spot where Hangman, he wrapped barbed wire around his arm, using it as a weapon. So that was pretty cool. What else do we have in this match? The cinder block spot, that was pretty wild. That was wild in this match. Hangman did a nice power bomb through the cinder blocks. Or even going back to the staple gun thing, Swerve brought out some pictures of his family because on the Go Home show, Hangman burned down his house, his childhood house, the house that Swerve grew up in. But yeah, Swerve had some pictures, stapled the picture onto the chest of Hangman, and then did one on the face of him. So these guys are just going at it. It was wild. Even had some burnt wood from the house, so that was pretty cool. Swerve started it was like a little javelin thing or like a thing, and started jamming to the head of Adam Page. That was wild. And then the ending of this match, it was just sick. It was gross with the whole syringe. Hangman brings out the syringe and just puts it in the side of Swerve's mouth, and then the steel chair shot to the head, unprotected chair shot to the head. So the referee, has no choice, to call it off, by a technical knockout here, because Swerve couldn't go on any longer. It was just, it was smart for them to end it that way, because it still makes Swerve look strong, because he never quit. He just couldn't continue on anymore. That he didn't get pinned, he didn't get submitted, he didn't tap out or anything. So Swerve still looks strong here. And like I said, this is a lights out match, so it doesn't really hurt anyone here. Both guys, like I said, they were trying to kill each other in this match. This is the wild match. Crazy spots. Both guys were really battered and bruised up and like bloody. This will be a wild match. That's all I gotta say. So Hangman ends up winning the lights out match by like I said, a technical by knockout basically. And that was AEW All Out 2024. Overall, AEW All Out was a really good show. Really enjoyed it. Be on the lookout for more of my wrestling content. I'm going to get back into doing more reviews again. Definitely, we have WWE Bad Blood coming up in October. SmackDown moves to the USA Network on this Friday. Or was it last Friday? No, it's this Friday. Yeah. So we got SmackDown on the USA Network. Also, Raw is going back to 2 hours for the rest of the year, which is going to be nice. That's going to be nice. I'm going to be watching Raw more. I mean, I've been watching Raw quite a bit, but yeah, definitely. 2 hours is going to be easy to sit through. So Raw is going to be 2 hours through the rest of the year. Well, what else am I forgetting? Also, we got Wrestle Dream coming up in October. Definitely going to be watching that as well. And then we got Halloween Havoc. That's at the end of October. So, there's a lot of wrestling to look forward to. So, if this is your first time ever checking out my channel, hit that subscribe button. That really helped me out a lot. Also, turn on the notification bell to be notified every time I make a new video. And go follow me on X and Instagram at TheTrueJSB. My handle is right there. And you guys can go down in the description and go follow me through that way as well. So some videos got coming up for you guys. I got my NFL Week 2 predictions on the Ford the Kingdom podcast. Stay tuned for that. And just more wrestling content to bring out to you guys. I'm gonna get back into doing that more reviews again. So yeah, definitely subscribe. And this is your boy Juggernaut saying peace out, and I will see you guys in my next video whenever that